Hi everyone, welcome to the Cache Condition Study. My name is Lee and I'm here with Mountain Bike John, and he's going to tell you about the goals of this study and why you were selected.
Hi, everyone. This is John, aka Mountain Bike. The primary goal of this study is to assess the state of caches out in the real world and see how those conditions compare to the assessment we are able to make internally from logs alone. As the data team, we are frequently asked, how is the game field, the playing field of geocaches doing? And we're limited to the logs on a cache. This is basically designed to see how accurate that assessment is. As you know, many users, new as well as experienced, will not log DNFs on a cache. And so we often don't have the true DNF rate for a cache. And then beyond that, even if the cache is in place, we don't necessarily know if it's a good experience from logs alone. So we will be asking you to assess the state of the cache container, the log, as well as the location in which the cache has been placed, whether or not it's appealing and a place that you would recommend to friends and family. So I'll go now through the instructions, the step-by-step, the steps you'll be taking for this study. I'll just do a quick summary and then we'll go into more detail afterwards. First is if you think that this is something you want to participate in, we'll ask you to sign up. We'll be taking your details so that we know where to send your t-shirt, which you'll receive after completing your assigned caches. Two is to go out and visit those assigned caches. And finally, to report on the condition of the cache, which includes, as I mentioned, the container, the log, and the area in which the cache is located. I'll turn it over to Lee now to talk about that first step in more detail.
Thanks, John. We really need your participation. John has selected approximately 100 of you around the world based on your super user status. So we need you to participate. Signing up, it takes just a moment. Your player name is already input. You just need to confirm your participation. And then we just need to get your t-shirt size and then your shipping address so we can make sure you get a t-shirt after you complete the study. Next, you'll be visiting the 25 caches on your assigned list. And you'll see on the left, there's a menu item that says your cache list. I'm going to click on this and John is going to show you your list and talk about it.
So this is my list, and what you will see will be very similar. It will be the 25 traditional class caches closest to your home location, whether or not you visited them. In the list on the left, the first column will be that indicator of whether or not you have found the cache, and then followed by columns for the GC code and cache name, and those are both linked to the cache page. And then if you have found the cache, there will be the date shown on when you found it, and that will be a link directly to the log that you posted so that you can quickly review what the cache was like if you have done it in the past. The next two columns both relate to your reporting on the status of the cache. I'm going to be turning it over to Lee to go into more details, but before I do that, I want to make sure that you understand the goal of this study is not to take any action on these caches. So we will not be turning them over to reviewers if they're missing or what have you. This is strictly to understand how the real world condition compares to what we are gleaning from logs alone. So now I'll turn it over to Lee.
Before I do, John, talk about why people must go back and find their caches they found before. I wonder if people will question why.
Yes, that's an important point. We want to be looking at caches that you've found as well as the ones you haven't, because we want the current state of all caches in your area, whether or not you found them before. You may have found them years ago and things may have changed significantly since then, and they may be gone, for example. So it's very important, in order to have an unbiased sampling of caches of all ages, that you visit caches that you have already visited as well as any you may not have.
Thank you, John. Just a couple notes about this data. It is static. So right now it shows caches found and unfound. You may later find this cache, but the data will not update because we generated it before we sent out the survey. The only thing that will update is when you complete your feedback, and you can see 2 pieces of feedback have been updated here, and it takes about an hour to refresh. Once you've visited your cache, you'll see the yellow submit status link, and it's very easy. You can just click on that. It's a very easy form. We'll walk through it. It auto-populates your player name and your GC code, and you just need to say, were you able to find the cache? First question. If it's no, you're done, and that's the end of the form. If you were able to find it, we need to add some feedback about the cache. And we want to rate the container. Was it damaged, in good condition? Provide us some information, please. And then we'll be inputting comments about the cache container and photos. In order to add any photos, Google requires you to be logged into a Google account. And so you'll see that rating the container is required, but adding photos is optional if you don't have a Google account. And then we'll be reporting on the condition of the logbook, adding some comments, and of course, any photos are greatly appreciated. Next, we'll be talking about whether the coordinates were accurate, and then we really need your feedback about the location. Was the location in a fun, safe place, or was it in a muddy, inaccessible area? So please give us comments and add a picture. And then finally, we want to know, would you recommend this cache to a friend? And tell us why or why not. And that's about it. You'll go ahead and submit it. So it's very easy. You can always track where you are in your submission process. John is showing that he's completed 2, and he has 23 more remaining. We need to get all the submissions in by March 31st. And keep in mind, the completion status takes up to an hour to update. If you need any help, we're available. We want to help. Give us questions. We're here. We'll get back to you within 24 hours or less. Again, only 100. John has particularly selected just you, 100 special users. And we really need your help, and we want to thank you in advance, and we love you, and we look forward to collaborating with you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.